Hi, I'm Mr. Huber, and in this video I would like to talk about circles, sectors, and segments. Well, first, the area of a circle is pi r squared. That's something you should have learned in year 3. If not, just remember this formula. This is the area of the circle. Pi times r squared. And the circumference, Umfang, that's 2 pi r. Okay, these are two formulas that are very important. Please remember these two. So the circumference is the Umfang, okay, circumference of the circle, okay, and that's the area. Now this is a sector. It's a pizza slice, okay? This is a sector. So let's say this is the angle alpha. Then if this is the area of the whole circle, then the area of the pizza slice is the alpha 360th part of pi r squared. If this is the circumference, then the arc up here, so this here, in German Bogen, this is called an arc. The length of the arc is alpha 360th of the whole circumference of 2 pi r. It's quite important. For example, if you take a circle like this, and then let's say it has a radius of 4. So the area is pi r squared. So the area is pi times 4 squared. It's 16 pi. That's the area. Now, if you take a quarter of a circle out of this circle here, this is a quarter of a pizza, okay? Well, then obviously it's the area of this pizza slice is 1/4 of 16 pi, which is 4 pi. But you could also have said the area of this, because you have a 90-degree angle here, it's 90 360th times 16 times pi, which is obviously 1/4, which is 4 pi. If you took a third of your whole pizza, let's say this is a whole pizza, and then you have thirds here. Well, then you know this is 120 degrees. This is 120 degrees, and this is 120 degrees. So you could say the area of this pizza slice, a third, is obviously 1/3 of 16 pi, which is 16/3 pi. But you could also have said that it is 120 360th of the whole area. Obviously this is a third, so it leads to 16/3 pi. Why do I tell you this? Because if you had another circle here like this, again with a radius of 4, and you took out something like this with an angle of 23 degrees. So now the area of this sector is now, area of this very tiny sector is 23/360th of 16 pi. See? For a 90-degree angle, it was a quarter. Well, that's obvious because it's a quarter of a circle. But you could also have said 90/360th. And here you could say 120/360th of the whole thing, which is a third. But here it's not just a third or a fourth or an eighth. It's 23/360th. That's the part of the circle of the area you're dealing with. Okay. Same thing for the arcs. Look, this here, if you take the circumference of the whole circle, which is in this case 2 pi times 4, that means the circumference of the whole circle is 8 pi. Now this arc length is obviously a quarter of the whole circle. So you could say arc length, okay, this arc length is a quarter of your circumference, 8 pi, which is 2 pi. But you could also have said it's 90/360th of the whole circle. Well, this is a quarter again, which would be 2 pi. Same thing here. If the whole circle is 8 pi, then the arc length here is a third. It's a third of 8 pi. Obvious. If the whole circle is 8 pi, the circumference, the Umfang, if that's 8 pi, then this is a third of that, okay? But you could also have said it's 120/360th, because it's a 120-degree angle of 8 pi, which obviously leads to 1/3 8 pi, or just 8/3 of pi. Well, here it's a quarter, here it's a third, and here it's another part of it. It's 23/360th. So this arc length is 23/360th of 8 pi. Okay, so it's always this part. Then one last thing. This is what we call a segment. If you wanted to work out the area of a segment, what would you do? Well, the area of this segment is in fact nothing else than the area of the whole sector minus the area of this red triangle. Minus the area of this red triangle. Okay, so keep in mind a circle. We're talking about the area and the circumference. Here a sector. A sector has an arc up here. That's the length, one part of a whole circle. Okay, and the sector is in fact the whole pizza slice. So this sector has an area and it has an arc length here. And the segment is just this part up here. When you draw a horizontal line, this is your segment. And you can work out the area of your segment by working out the area of the whole sector minus the area of the red triangle. I hope it wasn't too difficult. See you on the next one.